everybody, and welcome to Once Upon an Upside. We are here today to talk about the last three movies on UpTV from June. So the first June movie was covered as part of our part 2 May recap. So this is just the last three ones from June that we are going to talk about today. And I'm Jess, your host, and Kari is back with us.
Hey guys, happy June movies.
Woo! And we have Cami.
Hello! Glad to be back. I always love recording with these two.
Of course.
It's fun.
And I believe all three of these have like a wedding theme.
Pretty much.
There's my favorite topic.
Now, if I remember right, UpTV had a June Groom type of title, wasn't it? June Groom.
I don't know what it was, but it was similar to like Hallmark's, because Hallmark used to do the June weddings or something, didn't they?
Yeah, sadly they don't anymore.
But yeah.
No, yeah, we had three wedding movies, and honestly, I was watching like the third, and I was like, "Gosh, there's been just wedding movie after wedding movie." I was like, "Oh yeah, it's June. Oh yeah, this is a theme."
It is wedding season, and although I don't love wedding movies, I actually didn't think this was a bad lineup for wedding movies for me. I actually was decently engaged in the movies.
Good.
So that's a good sign.
I'm shocked.
You should be. All right, let's dive right into our first one, which is the engagement backup. When historian Luna is entrusted with the legacy of her late father's nautical museum, she pretends that she's engaged to Jackson, the infamous son of a tech mogul, in order to save it. As she discovers that there's actually more to Jackson, will she broaden her romantic horizons as well as her professional ones? And this one stars Elise Gatien, Preston Vanderslice, Beverly Elliott, and Jesse Fraser.
It was pretty fun to see Preston as a lead.
My gosh, I love Preston Vanderslice. I love him, and I was so excited to see him as a lead. Finally.
Okay, what is he in? Because I don't recognize the name.
Yes, you do. Mystery 101. He is Amy Winslow's prime student, like her TA.
Oh,
yes. Yeah, remember?
Yeah. Okay.
And in Christmas on My Mind, he played Andrew Walker's brother.
Okay, I don't really remember that movie. But.
Yeah,
I know you would know Mystery 101. He plays many
Bud.
Yeah, like bit characters like that. You know, he just was in, I don't know if you just watched, it must have been a couple UpTV movies ago. No. He was in The Color of Love, Color My World with Love.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched that one yet either.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you did. Okay.
I haven't watched anything in like forever. I'm so behind.
Yeah. I thought, Cami, I think Preston was a coworker at the office. Very small role. Yes. Very small role. But he's
he is. Okay, I'm re-looking at his picture. He is definitely Mystery 101. I definitely know him from that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's everywhere. He finally has a lead role, which makes me so happy. Yeah. I remember the first time I saw him, it was on When Calls the Heart, Jess.
Wait, were you like that show? What?
But no, he was a Mountie bringing Elizabeth news of Jack. He was on his way back. He had been sent out on assignment, and he was on his way back to the Northern Territories. And he said, I recognize you. He showed us a picture. He talks about you all the time. Mm-hmm. And I'm on my way back to him. And he carried a message for him from Elizabeth. So that was the first time I saw him. I was like, wow.
I know. He's such a cutie.
He is such a cutie. And then he plays all of these adorable characters. I remember in Destination Wedding, he played the other man, and I was just so heartbroken. It's like, oh,
he's the black man.
Not Preston.
No, yeah, I mean, he should totally have more leads. I really liked him in this one.
He was a great leading man in this one. And then Elise, it's fun because I'm just starting to recognize more of these UpTV actors more and more. She was just in that one that was very similar to You've Got Mail, and it was like the coffee shop and the small coffee shop, the big coffee shop.
And Jess, shout out to the Postables, Elise was also in The Edge of Forever.
Yes.
She was Vanessa.
Yes, that is why she's so familiar to me.
Yep.
Why did I not piece any of this together when I was actually watching it? I don't know. But now that I'm looking at their images again, I'm like, duh, I know them from
That's what we're here for. That's why we're here for you.
Absolutely. But that's the difference. Like he was a leading man. You know, he wasn't a character actor. He wasn't a goofball. He was, you know, he was the guy. Now,
he wasn't even a supporting character. He was the man.
He was the man. So what did you guys think of this story? I usually really like fake dating tropes, that type of thing, you know, the fake engagement and stuff. For some reason, Luna was so serious to me, the whole movie, so serious that it really took all the fun out of their engagement, like fake engagement for me. I don't know why. Why was she so serious?
I don't know, because she was worried about her museum, maybe.
And her relationship with her mom was not good. And her, you know, book dreams were crashed on the shore. You know, I understand why she had like heartbreak, but this is supposed to be fun. I don't know.
No, I get what you're saying. It didn't bother me horribly, but yeah, she was definitely overthinking a lot of things. I was like, okay, honey, if you were gonna overthink this much, then why in the world did you agree to this?
Can't overthink it.
Yeah, I say that didn't bother me too much. I think the only thing I kind of struggled with, maybe my only like critique really, was I thought like the way it all happened, like her like sort of landing into this fake fiance thing was a little bonkers. The reality of that was like, okay, suspending a little belief that you accidentally sent out this thing, and
right.
You know, but other than that, I honestly really liked it. Out of the three, I thought this one was most successful in convincing me that these two should be together.
I agree.
That's true. They had some really cool conversations where they like were trying to get to know each other, and they were telling each other what they knew about each other. Those were super cute.
Yeah, like when they sort of like shared other different like visions and things they were passionate about. Like she was really into like history, and he was about a lot about like ocean, like cleanliness and like preserving the ocean, getting the trash out. So I thought, yeah, that was really cool. They kind of delved into their different passions and shared them with each other, and
had a lot in common actually. And he I kind of thought it was cool that she was an aspiring author, but of nonfiction, which I was like, okay, that's unique. She was wanted to write like history and nonfiction on the their town or something, or their water. So that was cool.
Yeah, I also really liked like little montage with her father's letters when they were doing that together. I thought that was super cute.
I thought of you guys. I was like, they're gonna like this because this seems like a postable type of thing.
It's right up our alley.
There's one more letter. How did you know there was one more letter? I just needed it exactly right now.
Okay, guys, I have got to tell you, this one was my favorite because this one made me cry.
Did it?
UpTV does not usually make me cry. It doesn't hit me really hard. This one hit me really, really hard.
Was it the letters or was it something else?
Both. Number one, the letter. I mean, all I could think about was my dad and how grateful I was that he did live to be there on my wedding day because, thank you for the tissues. Jess is sticking a box of tissues in my face, everybody. And yes, just how grateful I was that my father did live long enough to see me get married. And then her talking with her mom. And when she said, "Oh, Mom, will you stop talking about food?" And she said, "Well, what else is there to talk about?" I went, "Oh my gosh. It's not just a tick, you know, it's not just a little quirk of her mom's. Her mom literally cannot figure out what to talk to her about because she shuts down everything else. So she talks about food." And then her mom is saying, "I can't say yes to Dominic until I know that you are on board." And I'm just like, Oh my gosh. Because that's what I want for my mom. I was like, I wish my mom would get out there and date. You know? So, but
Dominic was so sweet to her at the end.
oh,
he was really precious.
He could have completely rejected her and been angry, just like the rest of them. But he's the one that showed up and then just said, come here.
Yeah.
She needed a hug, and she needed a hug from a daddy figure.
Yeah, she did. Oh, that's sweet. Kind of makes me like it more how you explained it. Oh, yeah. I kind of lost a little bit at the beginning. It was a little slow. Was it slow for you guys?
A tiny bit. Yeah.
Then once they were fake engaged and starting to get to know each other. And I loved at the end when, because this is the question she asked him that he didn't answer. When did you know? Mm-hmm. That was cool. That was good writing, I thought. At the end,
the searchlight.
The searchlight.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I thought they nailed the ending with like bringing that full circle with the when did you know question. Like that was, I don't have a romantic heart, but that probably would have gotten me.
Yeah. I'm sorry, what?
Cammy, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say anything.
What?
You can appreciate the romance of it. I mean, and the good writing of it, I think, too. Like it brought it around. We knew instinctively what they were doing because they just did not answer that question before. So that was cool.
Definitely. What did you guys think about the reveal part? Because I thought this one was a little different because it wasn't so much that people found out. She just kind of blurted it out because she was panicking.
That's a really good way to put it. Because yes, she was.
A little more relatable, I think, than the whole like get caught, make a big speech type of thing. You know, that felt a little bit more relatable. Like, you know.
Was the sister the only one who knew by that point, or did her mom know too?
No, her sister, his sister was the only one who knew.
Sure. He told her.
Yeah, because he told her. And I thought that was kind of an interesting thing because this was one instance where I really felt like the guilt was getting to her. You know, she could not go on with this a second longer.
Yeah.
I feel like she should have, for the sake of many involved, especially because they both had real feelings by that point. I mean, I thought it was going to end up the way he tried to sell it to her. We both have these feelings. I have fallen in love with you. Let's just go in there and no one's going to be the wiser. I mean, I would have been happy with that, but of course we're not going to get that kind of thing, you know? But yeah, the guilt was eating her alive.
Yeah.
It was sad that it had to happen at the engagement party with everybody there.
With everybody. Whew.
Oh, that, yeah.
That's a speech you don't really want to have to make in front of a whole audience.
So, but I was glad that she had a conscience. Yes. But at that point they were in love. So yeah. You didn't need to do it.
Well, maybe, because I don't know if they were quite ready to get married.
No. But, you know, that was just the engagement party. You know, that
right.
The wedding could have been a long way off. They would have had plenty of time to get to know each other.
But yeah, so there's still conflict after that, though, because she still feels like she doesn't quite believe him that his feelings are real.
No.
And she still thinks it's all because he's trying to get this position on the board of like directors or something, because he
of his father's company,
involved in the company without actually working for the company, was my understanding.
Yeah, and I think too that she she had some growing to do. She had some grief to get through, and the letters really helped that. And so that kind of just created an internal conflict that she really needed to master, and she did. That was cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One other thing I thought was really cute, I feel like we should point out. So when they're kind of leaning into their roles a little bit and like trying to make the story feel a little more authentic, he does that like fake clamshell proposal because like,
that was precious.
Random thing he thought of, and then he actually does it. I'm like, that was really cute.
That was very cute. Very cute. So I didn't know if they were like trying to make him like a playboy or just kind of a guy, no roots, the, son of the tech mogul guy, but he didn't really have any good ideas, but he did actually. He was trying. So I liked how they brought out the best in each other that way with their aspirations and goals.
Yeah, because he also encourages her to like finish her book.
And she dedicated it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, so she's
So
able
cute.
to finish her book, and then she actually gives ownership of the museum over to a friend, which I was kind of surprised that was that happened. And I was like, oh, I figured you could do both.
I thought so too. I mean, let her run it, but yeah, total ownership. That part was a tiny bit funny. Obviously, it meant a lot to her, but I will say that, like, oh, I'm trying to save this museum, it's sinking. Here you go.
Right.
Does she want it?
Yeah. So she's a really strong friendship there. A lot of trust. But everything ends well. She makes up with her mom. Jackson makes up with his dad. They, realize their feelings are real and are valid. And they do the whole cute. So when did you know at the end in the lighthouse light? And that is the end of the engagement backup. Any last thoughts before we move to ratings?
No last thoughts. I liked him as a lead. I would love to see him lead more.
Agreed. Let's get Preston on more of these. Whoever's, the powers that be that might be listening. We know you're listening to every single one of these. So
there's one line that sticks out to me that I really wanted to mention.
Ooh,
you're gonna love this, Jess.
Oh gosh. I don't know if you're teasing.
When they're talking about when to break up, and he says, "So clever. That's why I love you." It almost just tumbles out of his mouth, and then he kind of has to take it back.
Yeah, that's true.
I loved that line. It almost came out completely naturally, and then he had to backtrack.
That's true. That was cute. That was a cute scene. I forgot about that.
I loved it. Yeah,
that was cute.
All right. So Cami, what would you rate this one?
Oh,
out of 10.
Out of 10.
Out of 10.
Yes, I got it this time. Thanks, Jess. I'm gonna go with a 9.
Oh, nice.
Yay, starting off strong.
Yeah, this one was my favorite of the 3. And I mean, I didn't agree with every choice, but I thought it was a very strong movie. And yeah, I gotta say, I love Preston. He makes a great leading man, and I hope that he puts this on his reel and people see how great of a leading man he is, and he gets more of these.
Yeah, that's fun.
Awesome. Cool. Kari, what about you?
I'm at 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 for this one. I really liked it. I thought it was cute. I was really glad it picked up towards the end, and I was like really wanted to see some of these conflicts resolve, and not just the conflict between the 2 main characters. I was happy for that conflict resolution with her mom. I was really excited about that letter that she was able to get from her dad, and her mom's like, "Are you sure your dad wouldn't approve of this guy? Like, I think he would." And she had that confirmation why, so I thought there was really some depth to this story that was sweet, but it also was at times a little, I wanted her to lighten up. I wanted her to kind of like lean into the fake stuff and the shenanigans of a fake engagement, and there were no real shenanigans. So
yeah,
7.
All right. Well, I'm right in the middle. I gave it an 8.
Oh, there you go. I gotta say, when she was taking notes on their dating history, quote unquote, I couldn't help but think of our darling Casey,
resident note taker,
or list maker, or resident list maker, we should say, because I don't know. Kari and I take pretty big notes, so
take notes on these movies.
Oh yes.
All right, but it looks like we all like this one, and I think the takeaway here is we want more Preston.
Yes.
Give us more precedent.
He's a Texan, so of course.
Oh, well, there you go. It's icing on the cake. All right, let's move on to our next one, a romance wedding. Zoe Davis is a successful and highly driven wedding planner in the big city. When her father asked her for help at the family cafe, she happily drives back to her cozy hometown of Romance, Oregon. Little does she know her mom has already hired Will, an aspiring food chef, to help. And he's also Zoe's childhood sweetheart. Tensions rise between Zoe and Will, but so does their chemistry. And this one stars Morgan Cohen, Drew Nelson, Kari Feehan, and Lachlan Monroe. Have these two been in a movie together already? I feel like I've seen them.
A whirlwind wedding, and they are a couple in real life.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they've I didn't know that either until this wedding. And this movie, anytime actors do like more than one movie together, I'm like,
you always start to wonder.
And I feel like it's becoming a theme lately. Like every time I turn around, I'm like, oh, these actors are together in real life and these are together in real life. I'm like, whoa, what is happening?
Like nobody knows for a long time. But I think this couple is a bona fide Canadian A-list couple. Movie star couple, I'm pretty sure. From what I could read. Yeah. If anyone from Canada is listening to the Up TV network, Up TV recap here, let us know. Are they like a bona fide couple that people watch? Are they in the magazines in the grocery store? That's what I want to know.
Okay, that's what it all comes down
That's what I want to know. I think they are pretty adorable together. I think there are times that they're a little stiff and times that they're like, he looks at her like this, she's just the most precious thing on the planet. And so I was like watching for it as after I found out they were a couple, but they have some good chemistry, I think.
I have to admit, the first thing that came to my mind was Lachlan Monroe is old enough to play a dad. What?
No kidding.
He's not old enough to play a father.
No, he's at that odd age gap where he's probably only about 15 years older than the two stars. But he's playing her dad.
Well, he's a fantastic actor and he's very versatile. And I mean, if you can get, a lot of people say, if you can get Lachlan Monroe, it's a straight shot. Because he's just so good. And I thought that he really enhanced that father-daughter relationship with Morgan. I thought they had some good banter, especially with the crutches. He's like, "Come on, let's go."
They did.
Like, well, wait for me. Come on, keep up. I thought it was very spontaneous and very free. And so I didn't recognize him when he's passed out on the couch. I was like, "Who is that?" And then he sits up when she comes in. I'm like, "Oh, that's Lachlan Monroe." Okay.
Yes, he was fantastic in this movie. Unfortunately, I didn't really like this movie. I feel like you guys did, maybe.
So I liked the first half. The second half lost steam for me. Mm-hmm. I thought that the reasoning behind everybody's actions was not valid. Mm-hmm. Norman, the older gentleman, he tells Will that he's trying to shut all outsiders out of romance. What is that?
That didn't make any sense.
There's no wedding venue in a town called Romance. That's ridiculous.
You gotta capitalize on that.
And then, for instance, no business cards. What? They are a thriving business that has done very, very well in Portland. Maybe they don't have business cards for the barn, but they have business cards with their cell phone numbers on them. Please tell me they do,
Yeah.
So, and, when he was talking about the woman who works in the cafe, but photography is her hobby, and she's saying, Zoe's saying, "Oh, I didn't know that." And then Will is saying, yes, you can use local vendors to make this whole business thrive. I'm like, that's what she said in the first place. You know? So I loved the beginning. I thought it had a really strong push off. I didn't like that she just left her blind date in the dust. You know, call the man and say, hey, I just got a phone call. My dad broke his leg. I have to pack now so I can leave in the morning. Call the man.
Maybe that happened after.
Yeah. So, because she just said, sorry, Topher, and took off her heels. I'm like, what? See, who does that to somebody? So, but anyway, I thought that it had a really strong start, but people's reasoning behind why they were doing stuff, it did not click with me.
Yeah. So I have like three things. And I think if these three things were different, the whole movie would have changed for me. One was I thought there was too much business talk, like talking about zoning licenses or zoning permits and business licenses. I thought there was too much of that.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Second, I thought that Zoe and Will didn't have they really didn't have any moments written in for them where I felt like
you're right.
Things were shifting. I didn't even feel like they really had a meaningful scene until after an hour into the movie, and you want those to start happening well into the first half, at least something. Third, I thought she should have ended up with Nick. I loved him. I thought if she had ended up with Nick, I would have been on board because I thought they had really good chemistry.
You know what? This is funny that you say that because you remember when we did a podcast where we pitched movie ideas? I feel like I got like 3 movie ideas from this, like to jump off of some of these themes they teased. They really teased some like tropes, like the jealous girl who owned the bakery, you know, and she just came in with.
I did not care for her.
Well, she came in with such big attitude and then had just like a really quiet resolution. I'm like, if you're going to give her big attitude, you better have Nick come sweep her off her feet, in like a sweet
wine and dine and roses and tuxedos.
And let her forget all about Will, instead of just some secret glances and stuff. So I'm like, okay, they really that could have been the movie, or she could have met up with this old boyfriend and realized, we have moved on, and Nick has been this amazing romance right in my back pocket that
That's the movie I wanted.
That's the movie. Yeah, exactly. And then him and Amanda could have, Will and Amanda could have definitely been like, oh yeah, like let's make this work. We're 2 hometown people, I mean, they kind of teased some things where I'm like, oh, that'll be fun to see. Never happened. Oh, that'll be fun to see. Never happened.
Yeah. And I want to clarify one thing too. It's not that I didn't necessarily think Will and Zoe didn't or couldn't have chemistry. I didn't think it was written in to allow them to have it.
Yeah. That's a distinction. Right. No, because I do think they had chemistry, but they didn't have scenes where they could really sit in to present chemistry. They talked a lot about what they had before. Oh, we wrote our names on the barn. Oh, remember when you did this for me? Yeah, I do. But I want to see present chemistry, if I'm gonna.
And that's where I thought Nick was successful because I feel like they made them have the fun banter. They gave them the fun stuff together. And that's why I was like, I feel like these 2 are working and these 2 aren't, because these 2 are only talking about business.
Right.
These 2 are having fun.
Yeah. Now, what I loved about Will, though, to be fair to this main couple, he really did work hard to make her dreams come true. Once he got on board with selling her the farm, he's like, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing this. And it's like, he's not even her partner in this. He's just trying to welcome her back with open arms. And ultimately, he's trying to make it so she doesn't leave. He doesn't want her to leave.
I will also say that the fact that their wedding seemed to be the first wedding I thought that was adorable. Or I don't know if it was the first wedding, but it felt like it was the first wedding that they were putting on at the barn. And so I thought that was adorable that their wedding was the one that we witnessed. But by the same token, we didn't see them kiss until they were married. What is up with that?
they were like, okay, it was a 1 year later wedding, which I always appreciate.
No, I'm fine with that. I wanted a kiss.
Time to develop the business and the relationship. But then they had a private moment up on a hill. I thought that was cute.
But there was no kiss there.
Amy is all about the kisses here.
No, the kiss was at the reception. There was no kiss up on the hill. I swear, because I watched for it.
Okay. Okay. I'll give you that. I think you have a better memory for that stuff.
Thank you.
I have something to ask you guys.
Oh, go for it.
Okay. Here's my question. What would you feel if your mom hired your ex-boyfriend to work at her business? Say no.
I guess it depends on how things were left.
True. And it seems like they left it pretty amicably, but she still was like, what is Will doing here?
And it's a small town, right? So I feel like that makes it a little less weird or like awkward, because small town, I mean, I live in a small town. It's gonna happen. You're gonna run into each other anyway. So
He didn't have a restaurant yet. It's kind of the only place. Yeah, I see that. I don't know.
It depends on the ex-boyfriend. I will say that. There were a couple that my mom just adored, so I can totally see her doing something like that. But the problem is that I'm married and so are all of them. So it
Right.
you know, I
less
don't
weird.
yeah. And so I would be kind of like, oh, how's your family? How's your wife? You know, what did you do for your anniversary last year? You know?
Right.
But if I were single, and if said ex-boyfriend was single, it would still depend on the ex-boyfriend. But I can think of 3 guys that I dated in the past. One, I would be furious, but my mom didn't like him, so she would never hire him. So
Yeah.
I would be furious. And then there would be one that I would be like, what are you doing here? You know, just why? And then there's another one that I would be like, oh, nice to see you again, but why are you here? You know, it's just so totally baffled, but not the least bit bitter, I guess you could say. So 3 guys, varying degrees.
Did they give the background on their breakup? I don't remember.
Kind of. It actually, I was very confused on that point. I think that it got a little jumbled in the script.
They thought they wanted different things, and he went off to cook. And
Oh yeah, because she left for the city.
she left for the
Well, she left to go to school, right?
Yeah.
and then he ended up coming back. She didn't know, I guess, that he came back, but they both were like, we thought we wanted different things, but I guess we realized we didn't.
Her decision to stay in romance, I was like, where did that come from?
A little
What?
impulsive.
It was beyond impulsive. You know? And I was just like, what? Wait a minute. You have a life. You have a business partner, not just a business, but you have a business partner. Don't you think you should be talking to him? You know, so.
We just need to know some of these things. We just need to know.
We needed moments. We needed moments between the two of them. Although I will say, popcorn as an appetizer, genius.
Yeah.
Absolutely genius, because it's true. How many times do we fill up on bread at a restaurant and then we can't eat our meal?
So many times.
I wonder if there's ever like a place, if there's actually a place that serves popcorn as an appetizer. I've never ever heard of that before.
Me neither.
We were in Phoenix one time, my husband and I, and there's a really good restaurant there, Public in House. And we've ordered the popcorn for an appetizer, and it was so yummy. It was like this popcorn bacon fat type of thing. It was like, but so that was good. That's the only place I've had it as an appetizer.
Okay.
I feel like we all need to go eat some popcorn now.
So it's either a Canadian or Arizona thing.
All right. So moving along. So she's finding all these roadblocks to getting the wedding venue thing started, but she is able in the end to get the town to rally around her. And I feel like a big part of that is because Will ends up speaking in her favor and just kind of helping seal the deal and getting those last votes to get it done.
I hate to be Janie Raincloud right here, but that impassioned speech that he gave, why didn't he think about that when she proposed the idea?
Yeah, he needed time to come around to it.
Okay, fine, but he fought her tooth and nail.
He's a changed man, Cammie. He's a changed man.
He's a changed man. He needed the locally sourced food for his restaurant, but he made a good point there. I mean, at his impassioned speech, he's like, "No one's bought my parents' farm."
Yeah, it's just sitting there anyway. It's not producing any crops.
Nobody's bought it. Like, let's let her. She's the only one who wants to come in, repurpose it, and make it a thriving thing for the town.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's using the town to like help their business by like her being there will increase all their business. So it really
slam dunk.
helps everyone.
That's a slam dunk business idea right there. That's
Boom.
I'm glad they came around.
So
Not to mention, like I said, a wedding venue in a town called Romance. Come on, people.
The new destination wedding. Everybody go to Romance, Oregon.
There you go.
All right. Kari, what would you rate this one?
Yeah, I would rate this one. I would give this a solid 5.5. And I don't mean to be mean about that, I don't know.
Middle of the pack.
Yeah, there was the thing that I found most interesting about this movie was that this was a couple in real life, and I just was like watching them for little things, even though they're actors, they're supposed to be there. That's supposed to be Will and it's Will and Zoe, but I was looking for Morgan and the guy.
Drew.
So, Drew. So I really thought that was super cute and interesting, and there were some fun parts to it, but then otherwise it wasn't anything extra special, like we've kind of seen some of that before. And so a 5.5, I think it was cute enough.
Cammie, what about you?
I'm on the same page. Because I wanted more. When you have a real live couple, just use that.
Lean into it.
Lean into it, baby.
And give Cammie more kisses before the end.
You got one kiss. You got one kiss, and it's after they're married. Come on.
I said you're just a little passionate about this.
A little passionate about that. I think they had a kiss that was interrupted. That was actually pretty, like sparks were flying a little bit. Like
sparks were flying, but it was an interrupted kiss. It didn't even make contact. I watched.
But yeah, I mean, they were going there. But
no. All right. I am not shallow and superficial. I don't just watch for kissing. I want to make that clear.
That is Cammie's only criteria.
I'm going to reach through this screen and... But I thought that it needed more oomph. I thought it just needed a little bit more substance and strength for having, and more moments, like you said, Jess. And the other thing I said, that just that second half of the movie, it just lost steam for me.
So what number did you also give it? A 5.5?
Yeah, I gave it a 5.5 too.
Okay, awesome. I gave it a 4.
Did you?
I gave it a 4. I think there was potential there. It just didn't, execution wise, just didn't work for me.
Hey, this is David from the Piecing It Together podcast, a podcast about movies and the movies that inspire them. For over 4 years, each week, a guest and I take a look at a new movie through the lens of what other movies we think were either an influence or connect in some other way. It's a fun, unique way to discuss films that leads to a great list of other movies to check out that either explore the same themes and ideas or maybe utilize similar filmmaking techniques. Including special episodes in our side series that twist the format, we've done over 200 episodes, so there's bound to be one on a film you've been thinking about and want to dig deeper into. So check us out on all the major podcasting apps and at piecingpod.com.
All right. Our last one is Planning on Forever. And this one is Emma, an events planner with no time for love, agrees to plan her sister's wedding in just 6 weeks with the help of Liam, who Emma had a disastrous blind date with years ago. And this one stars Emily Tennant and Alec Santos.
Okay, this is the first time I've seen Emily in a lead role. I've
Really?
seen her. Yeah.
She's been in at least one or two other UpTV ones where she's been the lead.
Then I didn't cover them. So because I do not remember seeing them. This is the first time I've seen her as a lead. And I've seen her in a bunch of supporting character roles. Yeah. And so I thought, oh, good for her.
I loved Emily in this one. I think she also needs more lead roles. I think we need to put Emily and Preston together and see what happens there.
Oh, let's see what goes on.
UpTV, tell me you're listening to our great ideas here. Let's get Emily and Preston as leads in a movie. I think this would be great.
Yeah. Okay, now listen, this one really kind of kept my interest because not only is it a second chance romance, but it's based on a blind date where they really didn't know each other. They did not like each other. They did not think they'd ever run into each other again. And now they're getting a second chance to kind of, oh, that's what you're like. Oh, I do like that. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I don't think so. Blind date is a new thing, or like a missed blind date, I guess.
A missed blind date, and he's like, oh, she didn't even like bicycles, and he had a bike shop. So I thought that was really cute.
Mm-hmm.
If we're gonna have the maid of honor and the best man plan the wedding, this was kind of a fun way to do it. Where do you remember that one that Paul Green is in with? Oh, it's called, what is it called?
My Favorite Wedding.
Something like My Favorite Wedding.
With Maggie Lawson.
With Maggie Lawson.
Yeah, it's My Favorite Wedding.
Yeah, it reminded me of that sometimes, but this one was better in my mind because she was not as mad and uptight as the Maggie Lawson character. He was more interested actually right away than the Paul Green character. And so I thought I liked it for that reason. I'm like, okay, this is that story pretty much, but going how I want it to go.
Yeah. And one thing I really like too, so they're planning the wedding for her sister. So they're being what they called stand-ins for them to help, because like everything's set up. They just have to go and like help pick things out. But because, the sister wasn't involved, we have no bridezilla. It was great. There was no bridezilla. Right.
Your dream wedding.
I think if I was going to get married,
dream wedding.
If I was going to get married, this is how I would do it. Be like, you guys just pick everything out for me. I'm going to go over here. I know you'll do a great job, and I'll come in and get married, and it'll be great.
I trust you.
This is a great system.
It would not surprise me, actually. It would not surprise me if I were to get a phone call and she said, Cammie, will you and Casey just come and plan my wedding?
Oh my gosh, yes. With Casey's organization skills and your like flair for design and like things, I think you guys would knock it out of the park for me.
That's such a great idea. You should do that. When the time comes.
My one worry is that it would be too colorful for Jess. She wouldn't like our choice.
Cam, you would just lead into all the romance, and I'd be like, "Why are there hearts everywhere?"
Well, I think that thing for the friends who know another friend really well, the beauty of it and the fun of it is making it the wedding she would want. It's like would be a challenge, like a test for you guys. Like, how well do we really know Jess? And you would pass. I think you would.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that when it happens, shall we? Okay. Put a pin in that. I loved that they used Corey Hawks as the mother because it's the same mother as a romance.
Yeah,
as a romance wedding, it was the same mom. So I thought that was adorable. It was like, oh, it's a mom in 2 out of 3.
She was fantastic.
I liked her character in this one better. I think she did a great job in this one, and it was fun to see her kind of date again, right? Like someone in her, and that was cute.
Yeah.
And
I love when parents, widowed parents or divorced parents get a second chance in the movie. I love that. Maybe it's because I want my own mom to start dating, but I love that. I think it's adorable. And it also shows that just because you're older, you're not dead.
Dead.
Still got it. That's what the daughter says, right? She still got it. Which that was one of my favorite parts about this movie. I loved the mom's relationship with Emma. I thought they had such a fun relationship, like just the way they interact with each other. You could just tell how much they cared for one another. I thought that was super, super cute.
Yeah. That was great. I liked Emma. I really did like where are we here? Sorry. I really did like Liam. I thought that he was a kind of a fun character. He had this bike shop. He was a little quirky, but he kind of knew what he wanted. You know, he was trying to do something special for the couple on his own and not just like following her around, planning everything. And the mistaken identity of like the girl who gave him her number, you know, the florist. Mm-hmm. And the mistaken interest, or I guess Emma thought he was interested, and obviously, right. You know, she sees them together every once in a while. That was totally realistic. I thought. I don't think that was blown out of the water. I thought it was like, oh yeah, he's probably interested in her, and I probably missed my chance, and
right, because when he says he's bringing a +1, I mean, what else are you to assume?
That ticked me off.
Did it?
I was like, that is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard in my entire life. That he's bringing his assistant from the bike shop as his +1 because he's driving the couple away. No, that he should be coming to the wedding, not as a +1, but just coming to the wedding, and then he's going to drive them off. That's part of the wedding plan. That's not a +1.
It set them up. It set them up for just a really cute closing line, though, where she was like, I thought you had a date to the wedding. And he said something like, you know, I wrote it down.
I did too.
There's no stand-in for you. Like, no.
I literally wrote, what a line.
That was a good line. It was a fantastic line since since she has been insisting that she's a stand-in the whole time and that she is not a wedding planner and she's not this and she's not that. And so she's just a stand-in. So that's a good line. But
so how about the time when they go to the fancy restaurant and she said, yeah, I bring all my clients here. You know, this is the place to be. And they both kind of agree at the same time, like, let's get out of here. And then they leave and they go have burgers and fries. I thought that was cute. I like that.
Okay, maybe this is because I watched them back to back, but those cups that they used, I think that they were filmed. I think this movie was filmed in the same location as a Romance Wedding, because those are the exact same cups that Nick hands to Zoe.
Yeah. Have I seen these? Have I seen these before?
Yeah. I've seen these cups somewhere. It was such a weird detail for me to pick out, but I was like, oh my gosh.
No,
cups.
I love those details. That's the prop closet. It must be the Up TV channel prop closet. And they're like, give me some cups. And the assistant goes and gets the same cups and comes back. That's awesome.
Same cups, same mom. I mean,
it's a package deal.
It truly, truly is. Now, Kari, I have a question for you specifically.
I know.
Is a flower fight okay if it's not between the main couple?
I was like, oh my gosh, there's a flower fight and a little bit of like not a wiping of like a face wipe, but she like gets his face dirty.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, okay, that's kind of cute. This was like the perfect length. The perfect little, we're flirting a little bit. We're just, you know, I'm going to do this and then we're moving on. We don't have to like give 20 seconds, 30 seconds of the whole movie to this flower fight that I'm now thinking, who's going to clean this up?
It was magical romance fairies come in and clean it up when, you know.
Yeah, they're called PAs.
It was all the flower fight needs to be, just a little flirty and then like, okay, let's make the pie or whatever they were making. Like, what did you think?
It didn't bother me, yeah, because it was so short. It was just like, oh, whatever. And it wasn't the main couple, so it was like, oh, the mom's just having fun.
Yep. It was well done, well executed flower fight.
the mom needed to have some fun in her life, you know. So
Yes.
and what better way for two bakers to start flirting than, you know.
There
Right.
you
The
go.
bakers started flirting, and they're old enough to know I'm going to be the one cleaning this up.
Right.
So, it's not the kids assuming someone else is going to clean this up.
Well,
It
I feel
was-
like a lot of times when they do it, it's like it's like the main couple, and they're like doing it in a place that's not their home. Like it's the parents, like the family home.
yeah. Oh my gosh. What was that movie that they literally got in like a food fight at a place they were like showing? Jess, did we watch this together?
Was it UpTV
I think
or was it Hallmark?
What was it? They get in a food fight over, they're like trying to show someone and sell a place.
I feel like it's like right. It's like kind of
I
like noodling in
know.
the back of my mind, but I don't remember.
Oh man, I'm going to think of it.
You're gonna like text us at like midnight. I know what the movie is.
Go back to bed, Kari.
Well, if you're listening and you know what movie this is, if you remember this movie, let us know because it's not coming to us.
Please, it's not coming to us.
So one thing,
Kari won't be able to sleep tonight.
no, she won't. So one thing I have to say about the cake, the baking, is Hardee's. If any Hardee's are listening, they're gonna love the fact that it was a butter cake. It's not called the ooey gooey butter cake, but it's called a butter cake. It's close enough. But I just thought that it was adorable that they're talking about butter cake, and then instead of just saying, I'll make it tomorrow, he says, why don't we do it together? And so it created the perfect moment for the two of them to have that time together, because let's face it, when you make a cake from scratch like that, it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Anything else? I feel like we covered most of it. I mean, they just keep doing their wedding planning and
I have a question.
go for it.
So the promotion, she turns down the promotion, but she doesn't quit the job. But
I was a little confused about that too. The boss acted like she quit, and I'm like,
and she starts talking like she quit. I'm like, you didn't quit. You just said you weren't going to move to Seattle. That did not make sense to me. It was, wait a minute here.
Wait a minute.
And I didn't think, I mean, this is UpTV, so of course they're going to quit the job and start their own business, and it's going to be perfectly successful. But I would think that it would be a good idea to keep her job while she gets started and then go from there, because let's face it, she's only ever planned her sister's wedding. And she was maid of honor, so she did it all for free, basically. So I hope that girl has some good savings. You know?
So that's the practical way to do it. Now, what's really going to happen, because this is rom-com land, is she's going to go to Romance, Oregon, and go work for the new wedding venue there. That's what's really going to habut we're gonna mesh these two
all their weddings for them. Bingo.
I mean, they got the same props, you know, they're clearly connected. So
But now the mom's going to be found out that she has two different families.
she's living a double life. Oh, now we've really entered Lifetime.
Mom!
Mom, this is the twist we've been waiting for.
I think they're
twins. There you go. Twin
That's
moms.
This is not Lifetime. It's UpTV. They're twins.
They're twins. It's adorable.
Why has nobody called us about our great movie ideas yet? I'm still waiting for the execs to get on board with us.
Yeah. Phone call.
Seriously, we have good ideas.
Yes,
At least-
we do. All right, yeah. So she apparently quits her job, but she's gonna do weddings because that's what her passion is now. Because she doesn't like not being able to be as creative as she can with those corporate events. So,
but who can blame her? I mean,
Yeah.
those things sound so boring.
all right, are we ready for our ratings?
I think so.
All right, I can go first on this one. This one is hard for me. I was really trying to decide if I liked the first one or this one better, and I thought the first one won by just a hair, so I gave this one a 7.75.
Nice. Oh, good. Well, I would say, yeah, I'm actually kind of just a little bit more. I'm more like an 8 on this one. I thought it was really cute. I like the two leads together. They had some cute chemistry. He gave this Mark Ruffalo. How do you say that guy's last name? Ruffalo.
Ruffalo.
Yeah. He gave this Mark vibe that I really liked. And I think she's adorable. So I thought it was really cute. A cute movie.
Awesome. And Cammy?
Well, don't I feel like a Scrooge?
Oh no, Cammy, what are you doing?
I didn't care for this one as much. I'm sorry.
But it was a good kiss at the end. Did you like the kiss?
Yes, but I do have to admit that it didn't hold my attention. There was nothing innately wrong with it. It just didn't hold my attention very much.
Feel like it was lacking like a driving force or
a little bit. And so I'm going to stick with a 5.5 on this one as well, because it wasn't bad. And I will also say that it gained speed and it gained momentum the longer I kept watching. And then I felt like at the end it kind of fell down a little bit, but I liked them better as the movie went on. When they first started out, I was like, yeah, I don't think so. But the longer the movie went on, I'm like, okay, I can see these two, but that +1 thing, it just that bugged me so badly. So, but yeah, I'm gonna stick with a 5.5 on this one, because there was nothing wrong with it. It was nice. It was pleasant to watch, but it didn't grab me.
Okay, I think that's fair. All right, well, that wraps up our June movies, and then next month, or this month, I guess, since it is already July, we're back to 4 movies, and we kick off with a firefighter movie. Appropriate for July, right?
Oh.
And we'll see. I mean, there's quite a few familiar faces, like just like skimming the slate. Yeah, so we have a lot of good stuff to look forward to in July and then in August as well. So, Cammy, where can people find you on social media?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Cami Drama Girl, Cami spelled Kami. You can also find me on Hardy's Hotline and Deliver Me a Podcast.
Awesome. And Kari, how about you?
Yes, definitely. You can find me here at the Hallmarkies podcast and the UpTV coverage that we do, of course. But come to Instagram and interact with me on my page. That's Hallmark Comics. So it's Hallmark_comics.
Awesome. And you can find me at Jess VSW blog on Twitter and Instagram, and also find me over at Deliver Me a Podcast with Cammy and Casey, who's not with us right now. But yeah, and also be sure to following Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast on all social media, including iTunes and YouTube. Leave us your ratings and reviews and let us know what you thought about these 3 movies. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.